We are getting some major headlines right now that job openings are at a 2-year high. Job openings actually significantly exceeded expectations, jumping from 6.9 to 7.6 million. But does this mean that the job market is finally turning around? Economists aren't so sure about that. Now, I found this overview from the chief economist at Glassdoor super helpful. The first thing he highlights is that job openings have increased significantly, and a lot of that is driven by professional and business services. Now, I'm sure this is really exciting news for a lot of people because we have been talking about the white collar recession for years. So seeing an increase specifically in business and professional services means that there are going to be more opportunities for people who have been hit hard by layoffs. Although I think it's worth noting that this increase does not get us anywhere near what we were seeing in 2022 and 2023. But he points out that the thing we really have to pay attention to is the hiring rates. And that still looks relatively low, kind of similar to what we looked like when we were in recovery from the Great Recession. Now, of course, this could be a case of a lagging indicator because, of course, you need more job postings before you're going to see more hires. And with the way hiring processes are going right now, with the applicant volume, often it is just taking longer for companies to make hires than it used to. One last thing I'll note is that layoffs actually took a dip in April. Now, that 1.7 million might feel really high, but it's actually lower than what we've seen for the majority of the last 26 years. So honestly, I think we continue to be in this low hire, low fire situation, and there's also the story of two job markets. There is a subset of people for whom the job market is booming. They are getting tons and tons of outreach. People are competing for them, multiple offers. These are the people who have really unique and demand niche skills right now. And then there's the job market that the majority of corporate America is in, that if you're employed, you're probably fine. You're going to continue working, might feel kind of stagnant, but you're safe. And if you're not employed, it continues to be really hard to break in. Although that uptick in job postings might mean that there's going to be some movement happening later in the summer. The last thing I will say is that for years, I was lucky if I got reached out to like once a quarter about a job opportunity. And now it's been happening multiple times a week for the past couple months. And that means something because companies hire people to lead their recruiting teams when things are looking good and when they are planning to grow aggressively. And I can tell you that there are a ton of startups out there right now that are gearing up for big growth in the next couple of years. So that personally gives me some optimism.